Additional responding units are code 4 on 13th Street.
Hi, my name is Philip Jeremy, and I am a Deputy Sheriff of the San Diego County Sheriff's Department. I'm one of 4 deputies that patrol the streets of Del Mar. I start my day in Encinitas in briefing, and after briefing I come down here and patrol the streets for about 12 and a half hours. We're going to be driving the beat, showing you various parts of the beat that may be of interest to the people of Del Mar. This is my office here. Why don't you come on in? And let me tell the dispatcher what we're doing. 21 Paul 1, I'll be 1186, City of Del Mar. This is my computer and my computer screen. It's a touch screen. This is how I receive my radio calls. It's also how we have a GPS system that shows where I'm at, where all my partners are on the beat. I can write my reports on it, and I also can run vehicles on it. We're going to drive around Del Mar, starting on the south part of the beat, and I'll show you some of the problematic areas where we tend to have a lot of property thefts, and we'll end up at the north end of the beat at the fairgrounds. If you look straight ahead here, we're in about the 100 block of Camino Del Mar, and you got a lot of people that park up here and go over the bluff, either go surfing or go look at the ocean, and I've had 4 or 5 cars at one time being broken into in the morning while people are going to work, and there's a line of cars coming down Camino Del Mar. These thieves are good. They don't make a lot of noise. They look like they're getting in their vehicle, but in reality what they're doing is stealing that person's car or their possessions. The general description of a thief is usually a substance abuse abuser, someone who steals to sustain his habit. My typical day starts in the briefing room in Encinitas, where we're advised of the activity of the night prior, be on the lookouts for persons and cars and crime trends. After that briefing is concluded, I get here, I get in my car, and I drive down to the beat, and I patrol the streets of Del Mar. On day shift, the majority of your day, depending on the time of the year, is spent writing crime reports, doing extra patrols, doing foot patrols, and it's a beautiful city. I love working here. I just hate to see all the victimization that's happening with people because they have the belief that it couldn't happen in Del Mar. And property crime is 90%, 95% of the crime that happens in Del Mar. So I'd like to educate everyone to be less likely to be a victim. The City of Del Mar contracts for 1 patrol deputy. I don't have anyone else that works in Del Mar in the patrol section, and I'm dependent on my partners for cover. If I need help, a Solana Beach deputy or a Rancho Santa Fe deputy or an Encinitas deputy will come and help me. And the same goes for someone in Solana Beach. If the Solana Beach deputy needs some assistance, he'll call for what we call cover, and I'll go up there and assist him in any way he needs help with. It can be a scary job. They've described law enforcement as being 95% sheer boredom with 5% sheer terror, and sometimes that can be true. We're going past 9th Street now. These are the prime spots for people to park, go down and see the beach in the summertime. It's real busy here in the summertime, especially with the fair and the races, the horse races. You get a lot of transient people that come through. Some of them hard workers and just happen to be follow the fairs and things like that. And you always have your percentage of parolees and drug addicts who are wanted in other places, and that's their lifestyle is traveling around the country, working the fair circuit. And unfortunately, about 2 weeks before the fair starts until about a week or 2 after the horse races end, the crime rate in Del Mar skyrockets because these people come in and they prey on easy targets. We're here on 10th Street on the west side of Camino Del Mar. Got the big ocean right there, and one of the favorite places for people to park and go surfing. Unfortunately, all too often, surfers will come down here, wax up their boards, and then feel that they can put their keys either on a tire or up underneath, and when they come back, their car's gone, and everything that's in their car is gone. Maybe 50 years ago, you could hide your keys on your car and for 40 years never lose your vehicle. But nowadays, if you leave your keys on your vehicle, there's a very good chance that someone's watching you do that. And so when you come back after a couple hours of surfing, you're wet and you're cold, you're going to come up to a big empty spot. And then the next person you'll be talking to is me. Taking the report for your stolen vehicle, your wallet, your credit cards, the potential identity theft. So please, 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 if you're going to surf down here or go down to the beach, take your keys with you. If you're surfing the water, get a chain or get a pouch for your keys, because the thieves know that it's easy pickings on 10th Street. Here's a classic example. Beautiful car here, parked on the side of the road here on 10th Street. I just happened to walk up, the door's unlocked. And before I unlocked that door, I just happened to notice that they left their purse on the front seat of their unlocked vehicle. I can't tell you how many reports I've taken where good people of Del Mar are astonished that someone would open their unlocked vehicle and steal their purse with all their identification, their credit cards, their social security number, a number of things. And then after this egregious theft of their vehicle, possibly their identity, then they have to go through repairing their credit. So always, even when you're in front of your own home or in an area that you feel is very safe, make sure that the vehicle visually doesn't look like a good target. It doesn't offer a lot of quick money for a thief. Just because the car is locked doesn't prevent it from being a theft occurring. The thieves are very good at breaking windows and not making a lot of noise. They'll break the window, they'll reach in, they'll open up, they'll get whatever they need, your cell phone, your glasses, your purse, and they're gone in moments. And then you come out and now you've got hours and hours of very unpleasant work to do to prevent yourself from being a victim of identity theft, canceling all your cards. Let someone else be the victim. So always keep in mind that when someone walks by your car, they shouldn't see anything that they'd want. You can always lock your vehicle. Well, I'll tell you, identity theft has got to be one of the fastest growing crimes out there, and probably because it's so easy. If a person can find out your personal identification, it's really easy to imposter you and gain credit from department stores, internet sites, and you don't know anything about it until you get a bill in the mail and you have no idea what it was for, a $3,000 bill for a computer you bought or leased, and you have no knowledge of it. And then you call me and I come out there and you do a credit check and you find out that there's been several credit cards across the nation opened up in your name with your vital statistics. And it's a real easy crime to get away with and hard to catch. Sometimes we have a problem with transients. The ocean draws people and it draws transients, and typically a transient will stay in the city for a couple days and then disappear. With rare exception, transients are a problem for a couple of days. I contact them a couple times. If they're sleeping in doorways or camping in some alley, they'll eventually contact me or one of my partners, and in a few days they're gone. And then a couple days later, there's going to be a new one walking around. And in the summertime, it's worse because it's warmer. Car thefts, vehicle burglaries, and identity theft, fraud, are the big three right now. The classic example is recycling day. You put your recycling right out next to your mailbox in a lot of cases. They'll check the mailbox for any outgoing mail that might have checks, personal checks in them, or any incoming mail that has your new credit card in it. And They'll also check the recycling. If they right on the top see that there's a bank statement on the top, they just might be grabbing that bag and going through it to see if they can find some information. I grew up with always putting my checks right in a personal check and put it in the mailbox, and off it went. Well, once they get a hold of your check, they can dip it in a solution and erase whatever part of the check they want to erase. Put themselves as the payee, change the amount, and leave your signature there. And you don't realize it until you get your statement and you find that $35 check you wrote to the power company is now turned into a $1,500 check to someone you've never heard of. Yet your signature is right there, and you have to you have to contest that charge. So it'd be my recommendation that any time that you're writing a personal check, that you do not put it in your outgoing mail, that you actually take it down to the post office or put it into a post box, a mailbox. Right, we're going past Dog Beach here, very popular spot of northern Del Mar. Unfortunately, it's very popular for the thieves too. A lot of car burglaries here and a couple car thefts happen because they know they'll sit there and watch, and people will be out playing with their dogs, and they come back, their window's broken, and that purse they left on the seat, or the camera, or the expensive pair of sunglasses, or the cell phone are gone, or the whole vehicle's gone. So this is another hot spot, 2900 block of Camino Del Mar. And right up here is an entrance to the fairgrounds. Over there. What do we got going? Just got a message. South of Villa de la Valle, an area called the Jockey's Quarters, where they keep the horses and the corrals. During the fair, this place is packed with RVs, with the nomadic people who travel with the fair, with the horse races, and they inhabit these dwellings here. You can see that they're being inhabited right now. There's a barbecue out there. A lot of people that live in Del Mar don't realize that there's a transient community that lives in these things, that are working whatever events that are going on. During the fair, as you can see, there's just a room with a door and a place to hang your hat. There's a sink and no bathroom in here. And during the fair, these things are absolutely full with carnies and people working the fairgrounds. This place is rented. I don't know what the cost of it is, but this is what's lived in during the fair and during the races. This is a hot spot during the fairgrounds. This is a lot of dope here and a lot of people that are wanted. The fair recently started drug testing a couple years ago, and that's helped a little bit, but you still have a huge spike. And it's just not the city of Del Mar, it's the entire beach, Solana Beach, even out in the ranch, Encinitas. The crime wave goes up because we've got all this huge influx of people from that don't normally live here, that are here to work for anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. And then after that, the horse races start, and then after the horse races stop, about a week after that, you'll see the crime rate just drop off. I really earned my money during the fair and the races, because I've had occasions in an 8-hour shift to have 8 crime reports, which is very unusual for this city. Thanks for spending some time with me in my car, driving some of the neat areas of Del Mar. And if you ever need anything, we're just a call away. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Deputy Wilcoxon. I'm assigned to the Coastal Railroad Enforcement Unit. We're based out of the Encinitas Sheriff Station. We patrol all along the tracks along the coast generally. We patrol along the tracks here in Del Mar oftentimes, enforcing the trespass laws, warning a lot of people, trying to keep people off the tracks and from getting hit by trains. Well, essentially, we're not wanting to promote anybody crossing the tracks. Anytime you're crossing the tracks, you're actually violating the law. It is a misdemeanor. People do it. We're aware that people do it. We're trying to educate people. We're trying to tell them that it is dangerous. anytime a person is crossing, at the very least, please be alert. At least be looking for trains. I mean, we see people with headphones on. We see people that are chit-chatting, not paying any attention, stepping out onto the tracks, and that's obviously very hazardous. Every 600 feet, there's a sign along here that says private property, no trespassing. It's not like people aren't advised. It's there. They should know that they're in a dangerous area. Here, the trains come around the corner. It's hard to see the pedestrians that are attempting to cross the tracks there as they come around the corner. Trains are going roughly 90 miles an hour through a lot of these tracks, and they have no chance of stopping. If they see a pedestrian on the tracks, if they can't get out of the way, the train won't be stopping in time. Well, we've had a few incidents here in Del Mar, not too many. We had one incident where a jogger who originated in Del Mar was jogging along the tracks, and someplace down in the Torrey Pines area, we're not exactly sure because he doesn't seem to have a recollection of the incident, he was clipped by a train when he was jogging, and it severed one of his arms. And we've had other incidents where near the fairgrounds, a young adult teenager was playing chicken with the train and lost his life also, where he was stepping intentionally in front of the train trying to impress his friends and didn't get out of the way in time. We have on occasions had kids throw rocks at trains off the bluffs here in Del Mar. During the summer especially, that seems to happen a lot more kids out and about. When a rock does hit a train, we're told the windows are about $400 to replace, and of course there's a chance of injury for riders on the train if glass is flying inside from a rock impacting a window. So it's something we will arrest them for if we can catch them. Along the trestles or the railroad bridges, they're designed for the width of the train and a very narrow catwalk for maintenance workers, not for pedestrian traffic. And oftentimes people will assume that that's a sidewalk going along the side of it and think that there's space for them out on the trestle with the train. There isn't. When the train approaches, suddenly you realize there's no place for you. So then a lot of times people go at a dead run trying to outrun the train, and the train's coming at 90 miles an hour, so you may win, you may lose. If a person hugs the rail on the trestle, there's barely space, but you got to hug that rail because the vacuum from the train will actually pull you into it if you're on the trestle. So we get surfers sometimes with surfboards crossing trestles in different areas along the beach where they'll toss their board over the side and then jump in after it. And for some reason, the perception of a large train at 90 miles an hour coming down the tracks at a distance from a quarter mile, it looks like it's going 10, 20 miles an hour. It looks like it's going very slowly. And until it gets right onto you, it still appears that it's going slow. And when it gets within 100 yards, then you begin to realize, wow, that thing's moving right along. It's moving a lot faster than it appeared to from a distance. So if you're starting to walk across the tracks, you take a look, you see the train down there, oh, I got a long ways, and you're looking back down at the ground again, and then you look up, and it's right there. Conductors and engineers tell us that they oftentimes have near hits with pedestrians here along the bluffs. And they're always kind of running nervous when they come through town, through Del Mar, because there's so much foot traffic in the area along the tracks and along the bluffs.
Hi, my name is Deputy Kurt Carty, and I'm working here in the city of Del Mar for traffic enforcement. And we're going to go for a little ride today and see what kind of enforcement action we can take to improve the city of Del Mar.
Why
don't you come on inside and we'll take a ride. Usually Del Mar is really busy as far as traffic is concerned. Because you got all your commuters coming from San Diego and going up to North County. So we get most of our activities probably between 3 in the afternoon and 5:30 in the evening. And the problem with that commute is everybody seems to get in a hurry, and they want to get from point A to point B as quick as possible, and they end up running stop signs, lights, making movements that they wouldn't normally do. that cause accidents, and from time to time we do get accidents and collisions down here in the city of Del Mar. We'll probably go down to 27th or 17th and 20th, and people just run the stop left and right. What I usually like to do is I'll sit right in the middle in plain view where everybody can see me. Hopefully just by them looking at me they'll say, okay, I better stop, and they, for the most part, they do, but you still got people that just are not paying attention. They're on cell phones, they're fiddling around with paperwork, putting on makeup, whatever the case might be, and they're not paying attention. They end up blowing the stop sign. I was working traffic enforcement here in the city on Coast and Coast Boulevard, and I believe it was 20th Street, and I observed a vehicle basically roll through the stop sign. These gentlemen had a lot of material in their vehicle that I thought was rather unusual, in the fact that they had 3-4 pair of sunglasses and 3 and 4 wallets laying around, strewn about the car. And most cars driving down the road don't have 3 or 4 wallets laying around, or 4 or 5 sunglasses. And I thought that was rather odd. So when I pulled them out of the vehicle and had them take a seat in the back of my car, I did an inventory search of the vehicle prior to having it stored, and I noticed, all kinds of other things that led me to believe that they were possibly stolen property. One, in fact, which was a cell phone. And I actually called the owner of the cell phone, determined that it had been involved in a vehicle burglary just 30 minutes prior to me stopping these individuals. And so then, of course, I had probable cause to believe that those were the individuals involved in the vehicle burglary, and I made an arrest on those 2 subjects, and they were later transported to Vista Jail. And usually what I do is I put out the plate before I make the stop. That way, in case it is a stolen vehicle, then I'm not already walking up on the vehicle and subjecting myself to a possible situation if I know the information in advance. This is Coast Boulevard, and we're going to make a left up here on Camino Del Mar, which is where all the major traffic is right now. All the commuters trying to get home. And you can just sit and watch and see how many people don't really come to complete stop at signs. For the most part, I'm not too concerned with those who just slow down. See, like that van there, I'd almost consider that a stop, but not according to vehicle code. But they do, they roll it all day long. If I actually position the car out of plain view where they can't see me, they'll constantly roll it without even thinking twice. So, but I think my position here in Del Mar is not so much just to ticket, all the people who just roll through it, but the bigger violators who hardly slow down, or are not really looking, when they cross through the intersection. Oh, bicyclists are a terrible problem in Del Mar. In fact, I'd be almost willing to say that the bicyclists are more of a problem than vehicles, even though the vehicles probably outnumber bicyclists tenfold. The problem is that bicyclists don't think they got to stop at signs, evidently, around here in Del Mar. It's not that visible on the weekdays, but on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, there's just masses and masses of bicycles that cruise up and down the coastline here because it is nice. It's a nice area to go riding. And but they tend to just blow through them stop signs left and right. And we've had more than one occasion where we've had a bicyclist injured or hurt, not necessarily due to a stop sign, but because of their lack of respect for the motor vehicle, I guess you could say. As you can see here, that people have a tendency to park wherever they want. As you can see, all the curbs are red. There's a sign that's actually sideways now. It says no parking anytime. Can I have a second minute? Okay. Why don't you go ahead and step out of the car for me, sir? This is what we're going to do, sir. Okay. I believe that you're under the influence. Okay. You've been drinking and driving. Okay. Well, you haven't. Okay. And why are you not listening to my instructions? When I ask you to do something, why are you not doing it? Let's do a couple field coordination tests. Okay. And it's also understanding what I'm telling you. Okay. And what I'm telling you to do is keep your hands out of your pocket. That means leave them out of your pocket and don't put them back in your pocket. Do you understand that? You understand that? Keep your hands out of your pockets and leave them out of your pockets. Why? Because I'm going to give you some foot coordination tests because you're obviously going to go towards alcohol. Okay? All right, what I want you to do is I want you to put your both toes together like this. Keep your hands down your side. Okay, all right, tilt your head back, close your eyes. Yes, tilt your head back. Tilt your head back. Tilt your head back. Close your eyes. Keep them closed. Tilt your head back further. Keep your eyes closed. All the way up like you're looking at the stars. Or the clouds, yes. Yes, all the way up. Yes. Okay, keep your eyes closed. You're not closing your eyes. Okay, would you like to try another one? Would you like to try another one? You're obviously not able to do that. Would you like to try another one?
I'll take all that.
Okay. Why don't you try this one? What's your name, sir? What's your name? Yeah, I do. Well, I want you to tell me what your name is.
Is that good?
Okay, I'm done playing.
Go ahead, turn around, put your hands on your butt. Turn around, put your hands on your butt.
Yes. I'm following your orders.
No, you're not.
I am following. You want me to actually look up and get tackled. And get tackled. Relax. Relax. And get tackled. Give me the hand. Oh, there you go. Arms off.
So it's kind of hard to do this by yourself sometimes.
People do the funniest things when they're drunk, you know what?
Do you have somebody?
Well, that's the problem with living in City of Del Mar. Like I said, you got all that traffic to deal with. And the closest beat unit was probably in Solana Beach. And it might take them a while to get down here. Plus, I don't know what time it was. They might have been in briefing. Yeah, they're in briefing right now. So you got a whole new team of guys just getting out on the street right now. Thank you very much. Okay. What's that? No, he won't give me his other arm, and I can't get it by myself. I'm waiting for another unit. Most people don't resist. They do pretty much what you ask them to do. But alcohol does some wonderful things to your thought processes, I guess. And so he just doesn't want to go along with the program because he's obviously big into driving. Oh, there you are. Stand up.
Additional responding units are code 4 on 13th Street.
Lean up against the car. Go ahead and have a seat. What you're doing.